Have you ever looked around your home office or your desk at work and realized that it's cluttered with thumbtacks and paper clips? What if I told you that you could fix that with a small decorative box you can fold in less than 5 minutes? Origami is a centuries-old Japanese art that involves folding paper. And while what we'll be doing here is not traditional origami because we'll be using scissors and tape or glue, the same principles still apply. What you'll need is a piece of rectangular paper, and I wouldn't recommend getting a piece of paper any smaller than this. However, for those of you that are just starting out, I recommend using printer paper. And while this is rectangle or rectangular in shape, I'm going to show you how to make it a square. So all you do is take this corner and fold it over like this to make sure that this line right here is nice and straight. And this should give you a triangle right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut off this piece right here, this rectangular piece up top. And try and cut that right on top of that other piece of paper that is one of your sides of your triangle. And this will give you a nice rectangular piece of paper. So what I'm going to use today is a 2-tone piece of colored paper, just so that it's easier for you guys to see the folds that I'm making. And the first fold that you're going to make is from the top corner right here to the bottom corner. Just make that fold. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, from this top to the bottom. And when you're pressing down these folds, make sure to press nice and hard so that your crease is deep, because you're going to need all of these creases later when we make our walls. So now you should have a nice cross right here and a point right in the middle. That point is where we're going to fold our corners next. So just fold each corner down to meet that point. And you can go ahead and lift the folds that you make back out. They don't need to stay down there. And really make sure that you're pressing on those folds. Okay, so now what you should have are 4 squares here in the middle and 4 triangles out here at the edges that should also have a crease down the middle. So what you're going to do now is you're going to bring each corner to its opposite point down here past the middle. So let me just go ahead and mark all 4 of those points here with my marker, so that you know where I'm talking about. So over here on the outside of your square is where you're going to bring this top corner right there to meet that point. And you're going to repeat this on all 4 sides. Now I use the color contrast paper, one because I think it looks better, and also when you start folding it, and also when you make your walls, you're going to notice that the contrast really stands out and it just looks good, or looks better rather. And this paper is pretty inexpensive. You can find it at Walmart or at any scrapbooking store, and yeah, it's relatively inexpensive. So now what you're going to do is you're going to flip your paper over to the opposite side, and you're going to fold these corners down to its closest point right here. So I'll go ahead and mark that with my marker so that you guys can see where I'm talking about. So it's this little cross right down here. You're going to bring your corner down to meet it. So do that on all 4 corners. And again, make sure that you're making those creases nice and deep. Good. So when you flip your paper back over, it should resemble a stop sign. It should have 8 sides. And what you're going to do now is you're going to start making your wall. So you're just going to fold your piece of paper right here on this first line, and you're going to tape or glue that down. And don't forget about this flap right here. That's also going to be glued down to its side. So you see what I mean with this paper, how the color contrast? This is actually going to be one of your walls, so you'll be able to see that contrast when the box is all built. I recommend using glue just because you don't see it, and even with the clear tape, you can still see it. I actually ran out of glue earlier today, so that's the only reason that I'm not using it. So go ahead and do that with all sides. And what I'm doing is I'm just taping this flap down right here along the edge. And then the flap up top, just the same. So repeat this on all four corners, all four sides. And these are going to become your walls. Some of you may already be able to see how this box is going to get put together. So your paper should now look like this. You have this two contrasting colors, and you have this nice square right here, and the physical square right here in the middle. So what you're going to do now is you're going to start using your scissor, and you're going to cut from this corner down to where that piece of paper meets. And actually, if you open it just a little bit, you should be able to see the bottom of the paper right here. So we're just going to cut that. And be careful not to cut any further, because this is going to be the bottom of your box right in here. Good. So now on the ends of all these pieces of paper that are going to be your walls, you should have these little flaps. These flaps are what's going to be used to connect your wall. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pick two sides of your box, either left and right or top and bottom, and you're just going to fold them over like this, and those are going to be your first two walls. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the flaps on each side, and you're just going to fold them over like this, and tape or glue them down. Just one long piece of tape should be enough to glue both of them down. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side, just fold these flaps in and tape them down. So now you have your first two walls. And how you're going to attach the third and fourth wall is you're going to fold those same flaps in on the outer edge, and you're just going to tape them to the inside of your other wall. So just like this. This is your third wall. You're going to fold it over, and you're going to use this flap, and you're going to connect it to the inside of your wall. And just glue it or tape it. Good. So now you should have 3 walls. And go ahead and repeat that with your last wall. Just fold in that flap. And what I'm doing to tape these walls together is I'm just taping over the wall like that. So from the back, over, and to the inside. And same thing, make sure that flap goes on the inside of that other wall. And there you go. You have your very own decorative box. And if you would like to make a lid for these boxes, you can do that. Just make sure that the other piece of paper you get is maybe a 1/4 of an inch bigger on all sides before you start out. This way it can fit nicely over that top. So now you know how to make your own box, and I recommend, again, using the printer paper just until you get the hang of it before you start spending the money on the more decorative paper. These make a great gift for Mother's Day or for an aunt or grandma, and children enjoy making them as well. If you would like to make other origami arts, There are plenty of resources online and also at your local library. So good luck hunting, and I hope you guys have fun making these cute little decorative boxes.